All right, straight into it. See if everything's working properly. Sounds should be good. You should be hearing me. First stream in a long time. What's up? What's up? I'm got like 10 minutes till the open, so I think it's time for a pre-market. So jumping in my profiles here. I'm a little bit sluggish with the stream, but we'll figure it out. Profile wise, let's see what we got. So yesterday, FOMC, we basically sold off to the lows of the overnight. We bounced on that prior value, which was a bullish thing, like the end of the session. That huge wick was interesting. But nonetheless, we need some new levels. So I'm just, first thing I do is just to have reference what the price is doing. I'm marking out the high, the low, the value area from the prior RTH session to have like an idea of what price is trying to do at the moment. So I'm marking out the value area high, the POC, the value area low, and the range low. Just by doing this, I can see that price is very balanced. We are opening up at the POC. So as it stands, as prices in this value from the prior session, I'm looking for range trades unless price really rejects the value area low and the prior range low. I'll be looking for moves back into the range. The opening price, that's for like 10 minutes. On the weekly, I hope like it's not too small. How I got it set up, let me know in chat if anything is wrong or if anything needs to be adjusted. I'll try to do so. But on the weekly, obviously the value area from last week, you can see like the last weeks we've been very balanced and we're pushing out of balance. So we already hit like a few targets to the upsides, swing points, high points. The value area from the week of all-time high here, we are rejecting the POC from that session. It's not the most bullish thing, but on the other hand, we're still above all these highs here. So I'm looking or anticipating for price on a higher time frame. Price is still super bullish. Yeah, nothing that stands out here. Only thing that stands out on the weekly is that we are trading outside of value. We already traded towards that weekly POC, that weekly value here. Basically anticipating if price starts trading above current value. Yeah, the value area high. So everything above value area high would be back into the value from that week of all-time high. So above that, things will start looking more bullish. But nonetheless, I will be looking for longs probably if we go lower. So right. So what do we know? Like we're opening up inside a range and value. So this is the most balanced thing that can happen. Anticipating range price action. But I need more information. And I get that from my overnight profile. Can I move a few things around here? All right. So this is where it gets interesting for me. Just move away some levels. So I want to mark out the current overnight session with a fixed profile. Still got a little bit to go, like 7 minutes. So this can still develop a little bit more, but I can always adjust later. So now I'm going to be looking for the value area high. And I'm going to be, I think I want this on the low. I want the green one on the low. So the value area high, and then to a low volume node or a high volume node, I draw this box. So basically that becomes a zone. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the value area high. So I mark out the value area high, and then I'm looking for, it's gonna be this low volume node. So from the overnight, kind of want to be looking for longs until, so out of value from the overnight, like on the lows here, like at 118. Yeah, 118 is like a high volume node with a ton of buying. So I'm going to use that as my extreme of the range, I think. It's basically a little bit higher. So on the delta profile, you can see the highest point of, it's not that clear because the candle's getting in the way. But the highest delta outside of value, it's basically right under the value low. I'm going to be using this one. So this is going to be my line in the sand for the bulls on the low side. I'm going to do the same thing on the top side. So get a high volume node here, but there's more aggression on top. So I'll probably be using this one. Should really be using the high volume node here. It's more the edge of that. I'm going to be using the high volume node combined with that sell aggression. That looks good. And then what I like to do is to see if I can find points of interest in value. So meaning it's either going to be the point of control, or it's going to be a level with huge buying delta or selling delta. Because if I want to be long and I go long from the bottom here, price moves up, I want to see levels of interest where sellers were most active. That makes sense. It's basically going to be this one right under the POC. It's good. Looks good for me. Why not one tick below the value area high? Below. Confused what you mean there. Oh, in value. I like to do it out of value. So I draw the box from value, out of value. Always out of value. Always looking for more of an extreme of value instead of like inside of value. I want to be, if price is going to be balanced, I want to have a zone. If it hits the value area low, for example, and we push a little bit through, if I draw my box inside of value, I'm going to be getting way more quick bearish, if that makes sense. Or I want to give the value area more room. Volume is not something that's too thick, even though sometimes things work too thick. I like to see more as more. I like to see it more as a zone, if that makes sense. The value area high. Oh yeah, like this. Yeah, yeah. But I like to make the for making myself a little bit more easy. I'm looking for those things out of value. If they're in value, I'm using that overnight point of interest level, as you point out, with the aggression on the buyers or sellers. I'm more interested in what price is doing if we're going out of balance. So, for example, if we are trading below the value area low from the overnight, I want to be looking for key levels in those areas. I want to be most active at those areas. So that's where I put my focus on, if that makes sense. All right, market's about to open. I'm not able to connect my what? I'm trying to keep my prop account here, but it's not doing it. Oh, we're live. All right, let's go. So I'm a be trading MNQ with 5 lots, and I'm gonna add if I can do so, just to keep the risk a little bit tight. Market's open. Oh, my bad, my bad. I got a lot going on right here. So I'm also looking for swing highs and swing lows to be tested. Like I got like a level at 202, which basically is a high. It's a little bit higher here. It's 202. Let's see what we're doing here. So we're basically at the moment getting absorption on the value area low from the overnight. We're at the POC from yesterday. Kind of want to be looking for longs if we sweep the value area low, power range low, and then look for longs. Kind of wanted to trade the 40 range chart upon open, but I'm not gonna do it on the stream. Not today, at least. So this is an interesting area to go long from. Just don't like the big wicks on top here. There's like absorption on top and absorption on the bottom. And I want to go long though. Here's some patience. But these areas are the areas where I'm like to do business one way or another. I'm trying to follow price here, structure. Basically creating a little bit of a hesitation, basically a lower low, you could say. So I want to measure delta towards that level, see what the strength in buyers is doing. And it's looking good for the moment for buyers are trying to push it here. Structure is just not ideal. But we are kind of bullish on higher time frames. We are hitting extremes on the lows, value area low, risk to reward wise. These areas are Really good. See, I gotta adjust my levels a little bit. God damn it. Okay, market's flushing. Adjusting my pre-market levels here a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. The value area changed a little bit. It's all good. I used to trade a 400 tick chart, and up on open, like in these moments, like in the first 5 minutes, these areas are most of the time the market is very violent up on open and very volatile. And I like to trade around these levels because risk to reward wise, they're just so good. But at 1 minute, it's not easy to wait for a candle close and then enter and catch the right move on the right time. And these charts, like a 40 range chart or a tick chart, could help with that. You see data delay on your entry chart. I've been dealing with that for a few days. I don't have it right now. But as it stands, we are losing the range from yesterday. Trying to see what's going on here. There's this huge wick that we did before, like basically at the close. It could go for a repair of that wick. Guess a short would have been the play here. Ton of sell pressure. Basically, once we close below that red line, could have gone short, but that would have been super aggressive. All right, let's see what the game plan is here. Does it make sense for continuation? See if we get some weekly levels here. Move back to value. That's going to be interesting. Don't see it. I don't see it. Kind of want to. Definitely don't want to go short here. Pro, an entry could be a move back towards sweep level, that overnight extreme, basically trying to get back into overnight value and then go short around these places, depending what structure does on that sweep level here. Is there any news? Question mark. Really. Got Apple, Visa earnings. I'm still anticipating that wick to be repaired and then just a bounce from here to be seen. Could have been a nice short, huh? Someone was too bullish. We got a wick at 93 right here. See what happens. Not something I'm gonna long probably, but I want to see what happens here. If we basically wig this level, regain, and then trade towards 85s and see what happens there. Sellers are still in control here. Getting a little bit of absorption. Absorption. Still no divergence. Kind of want to see divergence on delta, but if we close above, jeez. We're on this way back to weekly value, it seems. Just straight down here. Jesus. Patience it is. It's very annoying when market just rips like this. It was a little bit too bullish, waiting for a sweep. Not the biggest fan of just going short against these levels right here. Damn, that's 500 bucks. Jeez. All the way back to value. Jesus. It's not that far away. 830. It's like 100 points. It's like two 1 minute candles at this point. These are 50-point candles on a 1 minute. It does make sense at this point to trade towards that value for a sentiment test. See if buyers really want to keep it up there. Trying to see if I can spot some interesting levels here. This is current value low. No shot like enter. It's insane. $60-point candles. This is the low of that wick from yesterday, late session. Still gotta place my first trade on the stream. Probably know how that ends. This is just very annoying to enter on, like 60-point candles, no retraces, not even rebalancing the 1 minute candles here. The sellers are still in control, so I kind of still want to look for a continuation. But I do want to do something with structure. I just don't want to. I could go short right here. Do I take the risk? What? And all of a sudden I'm $400 in profit. What? What the fuck just happened? Dude, something's wrong here. Anybody else dealing with some connection issues? Dude, the hell was that? Sir, please fill me. Gotta be shitting me. Damn, those prop firms, those brokers, they need to get their shit right, dude. It's like, it's always on the most volatile, interesting times that they can't keep up. Like, that's just rigged as fuck, in my opinion. Man, this trade would have been probably the easiest trade ever. It just one tick, it didn't fill me. One freaking tick. Don't want to be that aggressive on the bottom here too. Brutal, brutal, brutal. What's the perfect entry, dude? Perfect fucking entry. This is an interesting spot for a bounce though. I look at my weekly here. There's a high volume note. There's a ton of bullish buying delta here. So this is the level for line in the sand basically. If this fails, we're probably back to the POC from last week. That'll be interesting. Some divergence right now. Dude, this is insane. What the fuck is going on? Like I enter like at 37 and all of a sudden I'm like in a position at 07. What? This is it's not tradable. Gonna do a little disconnect and reconnect. The funny thing is I'm using Rhythmic from Deep Charts as my data provider. Like this again, like this is better, but this trade's above the prior candle. I'm going to break even. I don't want to be uh, dealing with this too much, I think. Seller stepping back in. This is annoying to trade. Like I have no clue that what's going to happen if I add or try to get out. I'm not a fan. I'm going to protect myself under these aggressive buyers at 15. Happy to be out if we hit that. Gonna sell pressure. Like it's hitting my stop and it's not even getting me out. This is not interesting. Something's not right here. Let me double check. Like also where it got me out, like does not make sense. It was in my favor, but does not make sense. This does not make sense. Maybe it's better to stay away. Check my fund futures. Widespread issues. Bit of 8. So they're still not confirming that technically. It really sucks to do this on my first day on streaming. Not gonna lie. There's a little reconnect. Yeah, man, salty. Definitely should have gone short plenty of times. Now we're hitting that weekly value area high, flashing probably towards that POC here. And what a sell off. We're already down 380 points. Dude, aren't you having connection issues? Looking brutal. Yeah, DX feed is definitely having a hard time following up. Using C Trader in the screen is not the same. How do you explain? I don't know what you're trying to say there, sir. Yeah, deep charts and I think it's DX feed that's struggling hard. Like my connection, I'm using Rhythmic as a connection. That's fine, but whenever I push an entry or an order into the market, it does not align with what I want to do. So I'm a little bit annoyed trading this. Dude, this one candle just rips fucking 40 points in 0.2 seconds. Jesus. You probably could short like anywhere at this time and just make money. Let's see if I can get one more lower high. I just don't want to FOMO into this like right now with the connection issues and shit. But yeah, that weekly POC at 700, it's very likely at this point. '68, 768 here is a point of interest. Well, I'm using my funded futures, and they're pretty solid. Pretty much all pro firms allow you to do so, sir. Huge buyer stepped in on the bottom here. Kind of want to see price push up a little bit, see if it can create a lower high from there. Somewhat the same structure as a prior here, as the prior entry I tried to took here. It's an interesting spot. Now you can just use the DX feed from my funded futures to connect to the Deep Charge platform. That's all possible, sir. Looking back, probably should have been more aggressive with a try for a short towards that sweep level. Maybe a little bit too patient with streaming and stuff. It's all good. Was a huge buyer that stepped in on the profile here on the bottom at 68, 768. It's annoying because the best risk to reward on the day so far obviously is at the overnight low, value low. Currently we're like 400 points down, 420. At some point it's going to be a bounce. Structure here also looking ugly. If I want to short these, I want to wait for price to manipulate these highs here and see sellers step back in. Probably could make money just shorting here, but kind of want to do things how I do things and not just FOMO into the market. Is this just gonna melt? That would be insane. All right. 68 is that level. If it's still present. So we are back in value from the week before, but if we reclaim outside of value, this could be we could be looking for a bigger retrace. I'm kind of looking for a move back out of value and then maybe a potential short on structure. But the candles are freaking huge, dude. This is where like thick candles or range candles freaking shine, dude. Yeah, not today for me. It's gonna be short. It would be super aggressive if it closes below the prior candle, but there's this huge bullish delta which makes me not want to do this what I'm about to do. If it closes below, I'm gonna do it. It didn't. It didn't close below. Barely. All right. Of course. This level fails, is going to be a flush towards that weekly POC at 700. Damn, man, I'm missing out today. For real. Close below. Flushes. Very predictable there. Just not a fan of that close there. Huge candles. Should have done it. Should have done it. Like a one and done. Easily. What? Let's not do this. That would have been a 2R in less than 2 minutes. Brutal. Once again. See if DX feed is still crashing out. Really annoying. I think the best opportunities for the shorts are gone. I do think so. How many points we down right now? 460. Jesus. So from a profile perspective, this is a very likely spot for a bounce. Get this consolidation last week. POC, price moves away, turns into demand. Price hitting this level, huge delta stepping in here. The lower this goes, the more sketchy beast gets for shorts for me. Even this last one I wanted to try, very sketch. Not the biggest fan. It get interesting if we regain this. Do it again. DX feet, what do you do to me? Like I go along at 63, it puts my order at 49.25. Like for real. How does one trade? I'm just gonna put it break even and hope it stops me break even if it hits it. Like I'm not even able to trade probably to trail it probably. Give it a little bit more room and probably be done if whatever happens here. This is the most annoying thing ever, for real. Demand, please be demand. More room or not? This is the level it had to clear. 65, 68. If there were no connection issues, I probably would have been adding right here and trailing it tight. I'm just not able to trust whatever is going on my screen. So yeah. Be the one and done. Should have been done like 70 days ago. Maybe I should be going break even. Um, what happened? So I didn't do anything. It took me out of my position. Uh, dude, this is just not tradable. I can't do anything. I can't. I want to trade, but this is just ridiculous. What just happened? For real? Like, what? It doesn't even make sense. Like, is it lagging that hard? Like, did price retrace the whole way, and this rhythmic is just lagging, or what the fuck? Slippage? Like, dude, like 60 points? Damn. The game is rigged. The game is rigged. Because this setup too, like on Orderflow, just the candles, whenever you see, or whenever I see, a potential bottom area, whatever, and you see the cluster of these bubbles like this, dude, that's freaking demand. From what I've seen, um, very powerful here. Just a lot of bullshit. Like probably rips if this wicks 17, it wicks higher, it goes to like 40, 50. Dude, that would have been a fire position if it just kept me in it. And now I'm getting slightly annoyed by these things. This is not the ideal trading state, I think. I think I'm gonna get a cup of coffee and just leave the stream running. I'll be back in a few, and then probably give it a maybe an hour more, see what happens. But yeah, if it's that bad, I don't see it coming good. This is before lunch. I'll be right back. Right, back. Anything happened? Does look like a little bottom formation sitting in here. But yeah, ugly price action. It's probably got me stopped out. Still would have been 40 points. And at the same time, the longer we spend inside of value from the week, the higher probability will be that we one retest that weekly POC and then probably do a value rotation. That's going to be interesting. Trying to see if there's still people reporting issues. They're still not announcing it on my funded futures. I don't see anything. So IB is about to close in a minute, less than a minute. I usually like to be done by this time, like maybe like 30 minutes more. Definitely missed of the best pieces of the day. Like on top here too, if price just did normal, I could have managed this trade. I would have been amazing short here. This long was a loss, but it's not a bad try. Had some divergence on that move. And this one too. Easily 80 bucks, 800 bucks on 5 micros. Again, getting absorbed around that POC. Usually what I notice, if price hits like a major POC like this and it doesn't immediately reject up or down, these are good spots for some chop. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I don't see anyone talking about connection issues. Why I got so many issues? So at this point, we're like melting back into prior weekly value, hitting that weekly POC. The more time we spend here, overall, it's not going to happen today probably, but overall, I'm looking for a rotation of that weekly value. So basically, a move back to like 300s, especially as long as we trade under that POC. And also, those big buyers here. As long as price trades under this, they're trapped. If you regain that level, that's something different. The only trade here is going to be a counter trade, and I'm not a fan of longing this move anymore. So this one probably going to require some patience. And then still probably dealing with connection issues. It's going to melt from here. Also, something I can't trade aggressive with connection issues. Like, it doesn't even make sense to try and trade NASDAQ super tight with this bullshit going on. I'm already down like 190 for some bullshit. So looking at my overnight, it's basically my most aggressive trade plan upon open. So looking back, that first 5 minute close below all those levels, that should have been definitely should have been the trigger for me to go short, more aggressive. At least give it a try um, bef- before all those levels got wicked. Basically, basically the overnight low, also that aggression level right above. Once that broke, and the level below was still naked, I should have probably give it a try. Probably a little bit too cautious with the stream. Probably would have ran into connection issues too. So yeah, whatever. But yeah, sell day, crazy, crazy sell off here. Because we're currently at 512 points down. And on a 1 minute, for a clean entry, I mean, those lower highs are clean. Continuation plays. Basically 1, 2, 1, 2 on a 1 minute. This is why trading a lower tick frame or range chart could help you a lot with just getting into moves. 1 minute just wouldn't, it's not gonna do that. But it does help holding on to trades longer. How many points? 60, that's 30 points. I mean, 30, this is 30 points stop loss. It's like nothing in this price action. If you're not precise, you're just gonna get whipped. And then giving some connection issues. That's not helping today. But the market doesn't give a fuck. I think it's gonna be for tomorrow. Get a fresh start. Like down like 530 points. I don't wanna go aggressive short with this connection, whatever's going on. Like there's plays to be made like in between here, like in those legs, but they're very aggressive and they need to be managed very aggressive for me. And if price is just not doing the same thing like what my orders are doing, it doesn't even make sense because I'm trading blind. I'm basically gambling on a gamble. Um, it's just stupid. Maybe a little recap, and then call it quits a day. Damn, I was on the wrong chart. But I'm gonna do a quick little recap of what happened today, and then call it a day because this is just it's not even tradable. I want to trade, I want to explain, I want to do things, but it's probably not gonna be the day today. All right, so again to the profiles in. So on a daily chart, we opened up right below the prior POC. This was in value, so this was the most balanced open price can do. So the high probability is that price will be range bound unless or until we break the extremes of the session, which we clearly did. This threw me off a little bit, trying to wait for a sweep on the lows, for a move back into value, back into the range. That's probably the reason why I wasn't that aggressive with my shorts. Yeah, and then price melted and the move back to value of the week. I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't expect a freaking 600 point move out of the get go. Yeah, it happens clearly. Then again, if I go back to my overnight session, so knowing that we were like opening up in range and value, which is the most bullish, all right, bullish range bound thing a market can do. I was also still anticipating longs, being patient with price to develop, get to some levels for a potential bounce around these lows here. This is why I wasn't looking for shorts, but this level just once it breaks, the retest of it is a valid short towards the lows. I was just a little bit too bullish still on the day, I think, and then just afterwards, yeah, connection issues, all of that. But if I remove, because there's like a lot of things on my screen right now. So the green zone is like my value area low, and then that overnight extreme is basically a high volume node out of value, which is a point of interest for me to gain or reject. So once we trade below this, putting an order on it right here is a very aggressive play. Could have been done. Let me see how many points that was. Your stop could have been really tight too, like not even 30 points. Yeah, I was a little bit too bullish. And then afterwards, just having patience, seeing the sell off, sellers in control, waiting for a bounce. Price bounces, and then I went short somewhere. I was lower. I was targeting or like entering lower, but it puts me short, like way above here. Like was doing some crazy stuff. So missed that trade. And then here I went long. Again, price doing some weird shit that takes me out at a place that I'm not putting my order at. I think I was trying to short, and I was above here. Then again, waiting for the melt, see it melt. Price drops back into value from the week. I noticed a huge buying delta up here. Price swept that level. We tried to regain that level. I see the aggressive buyers here. Goes long. Price was like, I was like 60 points in profit. And all of a sudden, it stops me out break even. And it was like trading 60 points above my entry. Some weird shit. So you gotta understand that I'm losing interest in pushing buttons when this shit happens. It's just, yeah, it's bullshit. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here. There's no point for me to keep trading this. I will be back tomorrow. Give it another shot. Hope the connection is normal. Yeah, see you from there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.